In this video, we're going to cover creating and editing HUDs or heads-up displays in PokerScope. Even a basic HUD can be a powerful tool in your quest to increase your win rate. Let's head over to the HUD Designer and get started. There are four main areas here. The top left box is where you edit individual HUD stats. The bottom left is where you adjust global HUD settings. The center column is where we preview and edit stats. We can also create and delete HUDs here. And the far right box is where we add stats to a HUD. First, let's talk about the HUD preview section. This drop-down lists all of your HUDs. The red minus button will delete the current HUD and the green plus button will add a new HUD. One of the coolest features here is the preview window at the bottom. Right now it's showing stat names, but once we press the refresh button here, stat names turn to what the HUD will look like on a live table. Let's go ahead and create a new HUD and do some editing. We created a HUD based on the current HUD, and you can see PokerScope named it Default 1 Default 1. So let's go ahead and change that to Video HUD and press the refresh button. This is what our HUD will look like on a live table. To remove stats, double-click the stat name in the upper HUD preview window. Now we're going to add VPIP back, since VPIP is critical for any HUD. Simply drag and drop the VPIP stat to the upper HUD preview window. You can see our HUD has 3 lines, and these are created by adding a new line stat. Let's go ahead and add a new line so we have 4 rows of stats. Now I'm going to add some showdown stats to this line. Range allows you to set HUD stat colors based on the stat value. This is useful to highlight stat values that can give you an edge. VPIP below 15%, make it red so it stands out. Now let's edit the HUD stats. The font section here will edit the font of the currently selected HUD stat. So let's go ahead and make the Win to Showdown stat a bigger font. As you can see, the HUD preview window updated with a bigger font for the Win to Showdown stat. The Format section allows you to add text before or after a stat. This is useful if you're learning a new HUD. You can also note the HUD stats on your desk if you want to keep screen real estate clear. But let's go ahead and add the Win to Showdown text before the Win to Showdown stat. The If Less Than 100 option will show the hand sample size if there are less than 100 occurrences. Always will always show the hand sample next to a stat. The pop-up drop-down allows you to assign a HUD pop-up to an individual stat. Click a HUD stat to open the HUD pop-up on the live table. Now we're going to cover global HUD settings. Background will change the background color of the HUD. You can also adjust opacity here. Font will change all fonts of the HUD. Last pots can be adjusted between 0 and 3. This shows the last 3 pots on a live table so you can review past hands right on the poker table. Margin is the amount of pixels between HUD stats and the edge of the HUD. Pop-up timer set to 0 like here will require you to click HUD stats to open pop-ups. If you change this, then you can hover over pop-ups to display the pop-ups. A value of 1000 is 1 second before the HUD pop will appear after hovering. Scale font will allow the HUD to scale when you increase or decrease the size of a live table. Separator is the character between HUD stats. Text is the text color of the separator character. URL click will open a specified URL with the player name automatically added when clicking the note icon. And finally, we have Use Auto Rate. This will enable auto rate scoring for all players.